Thank you for joining us here on KARE 11 News Now. I'm Jason Hackett. Let's get right to your headlines. We are following developing news this morning out of Washington, D.C. after 2 Israeli embassy staff members were shot and killed near the Capitol Jewish Museum. We know this morning a suspect is in custody. Reaction is pouring in this morning as we learn more about the victims. This tribute just posted on X by China's Israeli embassy. This picture of Yaron Lashinsky and Sarah Lynn Milgram is getting posted over and over again. They were killed leaving an event at the Capitol Jewish Museum. They've been described as a couple who was about to be engaged in Jerusalem next week. The suspect is 30-year-old Elias Rodriguez. This video of his arrest is also making the rounds on social. Rodriguez is heard shouting "Free Palestine." Police say he was seen pacing outside of the museum prior to the shooting. In the last half hour, we've learned the Israeli foreign minister has spoken with one of the victim's parents.
I told him that his son was a warrior on our diplomatic front that felt just like a soldier in the battlefield.
We'll be doing everything in our power to keep all citizens safe, especially tonight our Jewish community.
President Trump this morning is reacting as well, describing the attack as anti-Semitic. Closer to home, a unity event hosted by the Twin Cities-based Jewish National Fund is happening this morning. That was planned well before the event of last night, but no doubt this will weigh heavily on that event. Well, staying in D.C. for a live look from our nation's capital, where overnight the House passed what President Trump is calling his One Big Beautiful Bill. That vote comes after days of tense debate. Republicans have been deeply divided over the massive spending bill, which would cut nearly $1 trillion from Medicaid and extend Trump's 2017 tax cuts. Democrats argue, meanwhile, the legislation will leave millions without health care and food benefits. The bill will move to the Senate next. Making headlines this morning, a federal judge will now decide whether to dismiss the federal consent decree against the city of Minneapolis. Yesterday, the DOJ filed a motion asking to dismiss the federal agreement, calling it costly and ineffective. The consent decree required Minneapolis police to undergo sweeping reforms after a DOJ investigation found MPD engaged in a pattern of racist and abusive behavior. Mayor Frey says the city is going to move forward with the consent decree anyway.
We're not messing around when it comes to this culture shift and the reforms that we all need to see and that are long overdue.
Minneapolis Police Chief Brian O'Hara says the department is still committed to the change. The city also has a similar agreement with the state. At the state capitol this morning, we are still waiting to learn when a special session will happen. But before that can be announced, lawmakers must work out disagreements in their budget bills. They were supposed to finish that work last night, but they missed the deadline. Now legislative leaders are likely to step in to get things moving. Some of the major areas they must finalize in the budget include education, health and human services, and transportation. Just after lunchtime, the city of Anoka will break ground with the hopes of building a municipal cannabis dispensary. Anoka doesn't have a license from the state just yet, but they applied early and believe they'll get that very soon. The mayor of Anoka says the city can have a building constructed and product in place in time to start selling by January of 2026.
I think we're hoping to be the first, if not one of the first municipals open as well, to be able to make a splash.
Money from municipal cannabis operation would help fund city projects like the park system. The mayor says there is still room for a private recreational cannabis license in the city. And tribal marijuana dispensaries could soon open across Minnesota in an agreement with the state that's the first of its kind anywhere in the country. Governor Walz signed a compact agreement with the White Earth Band of Chippewa yesterday, allowing them to open up 8 dispensaries off tribal land across the state. Well, we are just 90 days away from the Minnesota State Fair, but who wants to wait that long? Today, the fair gates swing open for some mini fair fun that lasts all weekend. Michelle Beck is at the fairgrounds for the opening of Kickoff to Summer at the fair.
Good morning, guys. I did the math, and it's been exactly 8 months since I was last here at the fairgrounds, and I can tell you it is pretty nice to be back. On my right, I see Sweet Martha's cookie stand, and behind me, just past the arch here, is going to be the deep fried ranch dressing that I'm going to eat and try coming up in just a little bit. But right here, gate 16, this is where you folks can come out starting at 4 o'clock, go past these gates to experience the fairground at its finest. This is the 5th annual kickoff to summer at the fair, giving you a taste of the late August tradition. And we mean that literally. You'll have nearly 40 food and drink vendors to choose from. Like I mentioned, Sweet Martha's will be there, so will Big Fat Bacon and Pronto Pups. Music and entertainment come free with admission. Tickets, which by the way cost $13 online and $16 at the gate. Kickoff runs from 4 to 9 today and tomorrow, and on Saturday and Sunday it is open 11 to 7. And brand new this year, you can explore all these parts of the fair while you are on an immersive quest. So once you buy a guidebook, you'll see that your mission is to save the fair. And again, like I mentioned, you can go all around the fairgrounds while eating those Pronto Pups, for example, and you can use that guidebook to solve puzzles, find the clues, and ultimately, like I said, save the fair, see what you can do. Guys.
To the Minnesota Timberwolves now, just a few hours away from a crucial Game 2 against the Oklahoma City Thunder. A win on the road tonight would be great momentum as the series returns home on Saturday. Now, during shoot-around yesterday, the Wolves zeroed in on their shooting performance from Game 1, 15 of 51 from beyond the arc. Bench production will be critical as the Wolves hope to even up the series. Our Will Hall is in OKC for tonight's game. He'll have a full wrap-up later tonight. And the Frost are back on the ice tonight in the fight for the Walter Cup, Game 2 against the Ottawa Charge. The defending champs are down right now in the best-of-5 series. Puck drop is at 6. And the Mall of America is hosting a fan rally for both the Wolves and the Frost. That's happening tonight at 5 in the Rotunda. And good news here for our Minnesota Lynx this morning. They are on fire. They remain undefeated after their home opener, taking down Dallas 85-81. But Hopkins' own Paige Beckers is still in search of her first win in the WNBA. Let's take you to some of the highlights here. Beckers gets her scoring started in the second with 3. The Wings down 5 here. Second half, Big Fee gets cooking, bringing the lead to 10. She had a game-high 28 points. Paige finishes with 12.
I get coming back home is really cool, and it's a great experience, but what we're trying to build and what we're trying to do from game to game is more important.
Rookie year is really hard, so I would just tell her there's going to be up and downs, but from what I've seen, she's staying aggressive in these first couple games, so I tell her to keep doing that and lead the team. Point guard is a hard position, especially when you're young, but take advantage of the position she's in. She's going to play a lot of minutes, so I'm excited for her.
Well, Target shoppers are pulling back on spending, and the retailer is warning sales are expected to slip even more this year. Gordon Severson has all the details from a earnings report and what it could mean for your next Target run.
Welcome to the Target Corporation First Quarter Earnings Release Conference Call.
There are no easy answers as to why Target sales are in decline.
Our team and our business face an exceptionally challenging environment.
During the conference call, company leaders said the fallout after their decision to roll back diversity initiatives is affecting sales. However, the much bigger issue is consumers who are worried about tariffs and the economy.
Yeah, I think that's a big thing.
Alfred Marcus teaches strategic management classes at the U of M. He says the reason Target is struggling more than its competitors is because a lot of the products they sell can easily be removed from a family's budget when times get tough.
People have to eat, but people don't have to buy, new sporting goods.
Target does sell groceries, but Marcus says they don't have the same market share compared to Walmart or Costco. He sees a lot of potential in groceries if Target can keep up with the competition. There is also potential online.
Their online is actually growing more rapidly,
with digital sales going up nearly 5% and same-day delivery going up 36%. But to grow in these areas, Target would need to compete with Amazon.
We have work to do.
And then there's the issue of tariffs. Company leaders say raising prices is their last resort because they need to stay competitive. Again, no easy answers. Every move the company makes will be met with stiff competition.
What is special about Target? And they have to understand that. If they understand this and they begin to they could turn this around.
One positive note here is Target says it's relying less on products made in China. Back in 2017, company leaders say about 60% of their products were made in China. Today, that number is 30%, and they're hoping to get it below 25% by the end of next year. And that will help with any potential tariffs and could help consumers with lower prices. Well, stick with us. More news and weather coming up after the break.